Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jae Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Alex Sheedy, the founder of Columbus Business Consulting. Alex brings a deep-rooted expertise in the construction and service industries, shaped by his family's legacy with Sheedy Paving, and a passion for helping businesses optimize operations through process improvement and technology like AI. Based in Columbus, Ohio, Columbus Business Consulting, founded in 2025, is empowering contractors and small businesses to streamline workflows and scale efficiently. We'll be exploring his founding story, how his business transforms clients in industries like paving and HVAC, and his vision for scaling this innovative venture. So let's dive right in. Alex, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, man. A pleasure to have you on the show today. Can't wait to dive into everything you're doing with Columbus. So with that, let's start at the top for our listeners. Alex, take us back to the beginning, if you can. What specific problem in the construction and service industries really inspired you to start Columbus Business Consulting?
Yeah, so as you said, my family has had a paving company for a very long time, and I was helping them build out some of their software solutions for their business and realized that the paving industry just wasn't really embracing technology very well. They either didn't know what to do, didn't understand the values of it, or just didn't think it was useful. And as I started implementing new solutions for them and software for them, we started to actually see the benefits of that. That was, oh man, probably 10 years ago that I started that journey myself. And then my family sold the business. When they sold the business, I was working for a few other paving companies doing the same thing, helping them build out a software stack. At the time, I didn't really know that was what it was called, but we were just looking at solutions that'd be better for the business. And then I decided to just step out and do that myself, is help people who are typically in the trades or small business know what they need, solve the solution that they need for their business, and try to help direct them and to solutions that aren't extremely expensive or way more than they need, and build that custom tailored software stack for them.
Amazing. Amazing. So with that right there, now you gave us a little bit there, but I would definitely love to get more into the nuts and bolts of what you're doing with Columbus Business Consulting, especially around how you're generating revenue today. For our listeners we could have a couple listeners right now that could end up coming and being clients of yours. So what's really the core offer there? I know that you look service industry, so paving, HVAC. Who else do you really like to work with on that side as far as your ideal client? And what is the core offer? What are you offering them when they come to work with you?
Yeah, so we'll cover some of your traditional consulting routes. We'll look through your P&L, figure out what we can do to increase revenue or increase profitability. That general Swiss Army knife option of consulting, we'll do some of that as well. But mainly, it's our goal, our mission is to help owners get their time back, right? Because especially in the trades, but also in all industries, people start their business because they're good at something or they're passionate about something, but very quickly they become an operator within their business.
Right.
And next thing they know, they just put out fires the whole time. Our goal is to set up a system or help them solidify their current system so that they can take a step back from the day to day and focus on really steering the ship. And typically we do that with customers that have under 100 employees is our sweet spot where we want to go, and under 100 million in revenue, just because that's where we can make the most impact as a business to those type of customers, because typically they don't have their internal processes all squared away, and we can help them tweak their processes or document the processes so that they can explain to new hires and things of that nature.
Love it. I love that. So with that being said, obviously a very niche area that you're going after. You know what you're doing. You've been in this space for quite some time. As far as the sales and marketing side of things goes, what's your experience level there? What's working best for you right now, Alex, as far as getting new clients in the door for you, whether that is referrals from past successes or you're running ads successfully, social media, organic outreach? Walk us through what that looks like for you for acquiring new customers consistently.
Yeah, so my background is actually in marketing. That's what I got my degree in. So I've been able to leverage that a little bit. So I guess I have an unfair advantage over some other people. But really, we've taken the perspective of if we can educate our customers and give them free help, that's the start, right? That's how you establish yourself as an expert on the field that you're talking about. Plus, it helps those people who are a little bit more DIY and hands-on, where they can start that process on their own. They don't necessarily even need to use us. But if they do get into a snag or they actually are too busy to follow it through to completion, they can reach out to us. And what we found is with that, we can bring in customers that are a little bit more educated on what we can do, which eliminates a lot of those conversations of, hey, can you help me fix this? Nah, that's not really what we do. So we write quite a bit of blog posts every week. We release every 2 weeks, excuse me, we release a blog post about a custom tailored topic, be that a software deep dive or a potential automation that we can set up for a business or somebody can set up for themselves.
Yeah.
And then on all of our social media platforms, we constantly are talking about new solutions or some innovative part that software might have added to their system that could be beneficial to somebody. So we go out there and find the options. And if somebody doesn't want to use us, that's perfectly fine. They can just learn from us. But most of the time, when somebody's learned from us, they want us to come in and help them because they have a specific vision that they want. And we have those tools to help them unlock that vision that they have.
Love it. I love it. So a lot of it sounds like a lot of organic outreach is what's working best for you right now, Alex. So
Correct.
walk us through, obviously I have so many founders on the show who also see a lot of success on the referral side, the organic side. But one thing that I do hear on that front is obviously predictability, right? It's tough to know
Sure.
how many leads you're going to be getting in on a weekly or monthly basis. So how do you approach that challenge as far as the idea of scaling the company, especially because you're still in the inception of it? How do you approach the idea of scale? Are you thinking about getting into ads to get more predictability, or walk us through how you're processing that?
Yeah, we'll probably start running some paid ads here in the near future. It's one of those things that's become a necessary evil, if you want to call it that. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad, but we'll probably start running some paid advertising. But for the most part, we get a lot of our business from word of mouth. And as far as predictability, we've built a unique model for our customers that's helped us hedge that, where we sign multi-year contracts with a customer, like on a retainer basis. Like helps us be able to predict our cash flow a little bit better, which then means that we don't have to constantly be out there trying to strum up new business. But then that kind of gives us the flexibility to take more of a project based model with the customer where we can turn down ones that we're not perfectly fit for because we don't want to waste our customers' time. And then our least favorable, I guess you could say, contract would be an hourly basis, just because there's not an end goal most of the time in those. And our time can get sucked into that. That being said, our business is built around a network of specialized consultants. So if there is a situation where, for instance, we need somebody to go into a company as a fractional CFO, I've got some fractional CFOs that I can place in there. It's kind of a unique opportunity for our experts is if they really like the company that they're in, they are more than we don't make them sign a non-compete or anything like that, where they can't actually be hired from that company. So if they love working with the team that they're placed temporarily into, they can get hired by that, or we'll help bring in candidates to fill that spot for the business. So it's nice because unlike your traditional consulting firms that have tons and tons of staff members, tons of mouths to feed, we can move people around and not have that pressure of taking a customer or a project that isn't suited for us. So we don't have to necessarily blow the doors off on the marketing side of things. It's just we already have a constant stream of people coming in that are super interested in the services we offer. And then just helping serve those customers is where we see the best results, I guess you could say.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, clear as day with that experience that you have, you're really able to bring the highest possible quality to your clients, which is exactly what sounds like it's happening right now. With that being said, then, Alex, walk us through exactly what the sales process looks like. Are you running most of this on your own as a solopreneur, or do you have a sales team, marketing team, and a team behind you helping push everything forward?
Sure. I've got a couple guys that I work with on a regular basis. They're not full employees, but I guess you could say they're industry partners. So I do some salesmanship myself as well as them to bring new customers on board. That being said, we do a lot of automation and use a lot of AI agents. So that being said, since that's something that we sell to our, prospective customers, we obviously leverage that in-house. That'll be a lot of our lead generation comes from there as well as our outreach. And then that helps us give a really good onboarding opportunity to our customers because traditionally most companies make you sign a contract and then they come in and they learn about your company. We don't really want to do that because we want to work with companies that we want to work with, that we're excited about what they're trying to do or the product that they're producing or the market they're serving, whatever that is. So upfront, when we bring those customers in, we do a free 30-minute consultation with our customers, figure out what their needs are, what brought them to us, why they're interested, why they need help essentially, or why they think they need help. And that being said, for us, authenticity is everything. If we get into a situation with a customer where, hey, we're not a good fit, we're going to tell them that up front. But also, if it's something that they don't need to spend money on consulting because they're right there, it's, hey, just do a little bit more research. You got this in the bag.
Yeah.
If something else comes up that would be a good solution for, give us a call again. But yeah, that's how we funnel our customers through. And then after we've done that, we'll send them a proposal depending on what they need. If that's a ongoing contract, if that's project, if that's hourly, whatever it is, that's how we bring things through. And it just depends on the solution partner that we work with that brings in those leads, how we approach that. Sometimes we work under somebody else's flag. Sometimes the whole project's run through us.
Love it. I absolutely love that. So, I mean, on that front, having the system that you have in place right now, Alex, walk us through what you're thinking about as far as a bottleneck goes to growing and to scaling, whether that is lead generation or converting your clients. What are you thinking about as a bottleneck right now that you're looking to push through and solve?
So honestly, the bottleneck isn't necessarily from getting too many or from not getting enough customers. It'd be from getting too many bad customers, right? And that's something that kind of plays along with marketing is you can get your name out there to 1,000 different people and they can all want to work with you. But if they're the wrong fit, they're just going to drain your resources. So for us, it's making sure that we have the people that we need in place to service our customer base as we grow in leads. That being said, I guess there is always that fear that the well will dry up.
Yeah.
But I think if you hedge your business and your profit model correctly, I guess you could say, it's more of making sure that you're dealing with the right customers, the right people that need to help those customers, and just marrying those two together for a project or a contract. I guess it's kind of twofold. There's a little bit of, hey, is it going to dry up? But the majority of it is it going to just unleash too quickly, and then we can't scale to match that demand, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a great line to be teetering on because obviously once it gets too crazy, you're having good business and have to fix that challenge. But I think getting ahead of it is most important, and especially for our listeners who are having the same thoughts and challenges as you, that's a huge thing to focus on is making sure that you're building the right foundation. So once that scale starts to happen at a high rate, you're prepared for it. Massive on that front. So really, with everything that we've been able to go over with you so far, clear as day, Alex, that this is a huge passion of yours, that you want to take this thing to new heights. What are you really focused on here for the rest of 2025, going into 2026? Talk to us about whether you have any revenue targets in mind, performance goals, impact goals. What are the top priorities here for the rest of the year?
So for the rest of the year, we have a couple customers that we have multi-year contracts with. So just continually serving those customers, making sure that we're meeting their needs, helping them grow their businesses, obviously is priority number one. And if you can't service your customers very well, it doesn't matter how many you bring through the door, they're just going to leave. So that's priority number one for us. That being said, we have some expansion opportunities that we're looking at through some other partners that we're exploring. So partnering with a few software companies and helping onboard some of their customer base into their new features. And then really just doubling down on this AI buzzword, right? You hear that all the time, but doubling down on that, not from a standpoint of let's sell something gimmicky, let's put a label on it that says AI, and this isn't actually anything AI at all. It's just automation. That's pretty common in our industry, but learning these technologies as a team, implementing these technologies, and then staying on the cutting edge of those technologies is where we've poised ourselves. Me and my team members are really focused on constantly learning new tools within that AI space, how we can implement those to existing solutions that we currently have. Because I think it's going to, especially in the trade, it's going to really be a heavy disruption. Most of these trade-based small businesses are not utilizing AI. That being said, you ask them, they're like, yeah, we use ChatGPT all the time. And it's like, okay, cool. Like you're just touching the surface. But how can we actually automate that AI and so that somebody doesn't have to type something into there? And then building a foundation, you talked about that earlier, building a foundation for our customers within the AI space. Traditionally, the trades doesn't like new tech. They don't like change. Not all of them, but that seems to be, at least in our experience, a lot of these business owners. And so in 5 years, AI is going to really trickle all the way down to their industry and fundamentally change it. If they haven't been gathering data and they haven't been collecting data on their business, they're not going to be able to utilize those AI tools. And so for us, it's, hey, cool, you don't want to integrate AI into your business right now. That's fine. But let's get you to the point where when you are ready to turn it on, you have the data to plug into it to make it a powerful tool. So for us, we're just that's a huge focus for our business right now. We'll help you build the foundation. Whenever you want to flip that switch, it'll be ready for you so that they're not just left holding the bag. Because that's what we're afraid of is 5 years from now, all of their competitors are moving over to AI, but they haven't done anything, and they're still another 2 years away from being able to utilize AI, even though everybody else is, because they haven't collected any data on their business. So that's our focus for the next year.
I love it. I absolutely love that. Clear as day, you guys thinking ahead of the curve, especially with AI that is just consistently evolving, getting better. And as you mentioned, so many businesses still not utilizing it as it should be utilized. So to have you there, putting them in a position to where they can utilize it is just incredible. So with that then, Alex, talk to us a bit about the picture. I have a good idea with kind of what you just said, but where do you see the business consulting industry really evolving in the coming years, especially for contractors adopting technologies like AI? What are you really doing to position yourself at the forefront of that evolution that you're picturing?
Yeah, so the approach that we've taken is if you've had a consultant in your business before, especially these big firms, you'll have just a revolving door of guys in a suit coming into your business, telling you what's wrong, making you drink from a fire hose, and then they leave and you haven't actually accomplished anything. And I think that's traditionally what most consulting firms actually do. And I'm not saying that there's not knowledge in that, but if you're telling me everything that I need to do in my business to make it better, but I don't even know where to start, it just becomes more overwhelming. And so our approach is really sitting down with the customer, figuring out their needs, figuring out what they're wanting to do, obviously pointing out any red flags within their business of, hey, you might want to fix this quickly. We can help you with that. But take more of a hands-on approach. We'll help teach you what you need to know. We'll help you get to the goal that you want to get to. And so I think as we see these new tools, we see AI start really playing a part of this, we're going to see the whole consulting space really take a shift, right? There's plenty of articles out there that are like the consulting industry's dead. You can plug your P&L into an AI and it can diagnose all the problems within your company within reason. So I think that traditional model, I guess you could say, of consulting is going to go by the wayside pretty quickly. We're already seeing that with a lot of legal services. You can get contracts written up within seconds for free. Now, that being said, have your lawyer look over it afterwards, but you don't have to pay them to write out the whole thing and, charge you a couple $1,000. In the consulting space, I think you're going to start seeing that too. More and more people are using your Chat GPTs, your Geminis, things like that as a Google search and finding solutions on their own, right? So I think it's going to morph into this space where it's not so much can you land the customer with the problem and bring your team in there and give them all the answers. It's more instead of throwing them on your shoulder as a consultant and taking them to the finish line, it's going to be more of a kind of guiding them, holding their hand, walking them step by step through these different gates that they've never approached in business before. Because let's be honest, AI is it's new to all of us. So there's tons of people that kind of need help with that. It's, hey, this is that cool thing that generated a photo for me that I put on LinkedIn. Yeah, you can do a lot more. What are the pain points? And we'll help show you where you can put this piece. And if you want us to build it, that's great. We can do that. If not, that's also okay. There's not a problem there. So I think we're going to start seeing more of this guide mindset within your consultants where they don't just come in and tell you everything's wrong. You have to go fix everything. I think it's going to be more of that like handhold approach.
I love it. I absolutely love that. And just clear as day with how you are envisioning everything, why you're seeing everything that you are seeing. Just incredible having you on the show so far, Alex.
Thank
Really
you.
walking us through your mindset. Absolutely. Thank you. So, with that, I do want to take us into the lightning round. The time is zooming on us. So, as far as this side of thing goes, just first thing that comes to mind, first question on this side is going to be as far as a tool or a resource goes. Obviously, AI is big, but what could be a process improvement strategy or a software that you're using, an AI tool? What's been a game changer for Columbus Business Consulting this far for you?
I'd say two. It's Entrepreneur Operating System, EOS.
Yep.
That's a phenomenal framework.
That is the key right there.
Yeah. I've read quite a few books on that.
Yep.
It's great. That gives you a framework to work within. And then I'd say, as far as like a software that's really been a game changer for us, would be make.com. We're an affiliate with them. Full transparency, they didn't pay me to say this by any means, but that's the platform that we use to connect all of these different software tools. And to be honest, we couldn't do our business to the level that we are without them, or help our customers do their business at the level that they are without that.
Yeah. Just both phenomenal tools. So definitely our founders listening in, if you're not using them, look into them, right? Because these things will streamline processes for you. And then Alex, just to finish us off here to end the episode on the advice side of things for our listeners from you, what kind of advice can you offer to other founders, entrepreneurs, either just getting started in business or in the middle of business and looking to have that drive and that passion that you have? What can you offer them before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think authenticity is key. If you don't believe in what you and aren't passionate about what you're selling your customers, they're not going to be either. Um, there's a saying, anybody can be whoever they want online, but as soon as you start working with a customer, they're going to be able to see through that pretty quick. So just be authentic. Let your authenticity speak for you and for your business. If you're truly passionate about what you do, it'll show through. And also be focused on results for your customer, especially if you're in that B2B space or if you're in the consulting space. But that customer success is the key, right? Because then honestly, you don't have to spend tons and tons of money on marketing dollars. That's where word of mouth starts playing. And that's the cost per click on that is pretty wild. Yeah.
I love it. I love that. With that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Alex, can't thank you enough, man. Coming on the show, sharing your incredible journey this far and your insights with us. And again, clear as day with the amount of passion and drive that you have. You're going to do some incredible things in this space. So definitely looking forward to maybe having you back on the show in a year from now, doing an update, progress, and seeing where things are. But truly a pleasure having you on the show today. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Columbus Business Consulting at columbusbusinessconsulting.com to learn more about their services, and follow Alex on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Alex Sheedy. For more resources and insights, visit closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we'll see you on the next one.